This passage occurs immediately after Nanny catches Janie kissing Johnny Taylor, at which point she sits Janie down in order to chastise her and remind her of the struggles that an African American woman faces in America. The purpose of this passage is to develop the characterization of Nanny, highlight the themes of gender, and demonstrate what it represents in society. Initially, the passage aids in characterizing Nanny as a comforting and concerned woman, especially with regards to her granddaughter Janie. This can be seen in line 6, where it says, "Yo Nanny wouldn't harm a hair on yo head," and also when she calls Janie honey. This has the effect of rhetorically persuading Janie to listen to her grandmother, as it utilizes pathos to appeal to Janie's emotions. Moreover, the style exemplified by Hurston is the utilization of a distinct African American dialect. This is very much contradicting to the commonly held premise of white supremacy, which calls for a very strict code of correct grammar and structure. Example of this African American dialect in this passage are like you're used to, and we don't know nothing, and as far as I've been able to find out. In fact, Nanny herself claims that the white man is the ruler of everything. Therefore, the utilization of the African American dialect has the purpose of demonstrating that despite the social norms held at that time, which placed colored people at a disadvantage, the quality of what Nanny was saying dominated over those stereotypes. Nanny also claimed in the passage that maybe it's someplace way off in the ocean where the black man is in power. This is then linked to the metaphor of the horizon and the symbol of the horizon, which is initially at the exposition of the book. It suggests that ships at a distance contain self-fulfillment. However, here the connotation of Nanny, the negative connotation, and her lack of interest in finding this horizon seems to contradict Janie's beliefs and could foreshadow a possible external conflict between that of Janie's wants and desires and Nanny's hopes for her. Additionally, the symbol of a mule is utilized by a proverb, which says, "The nigger woman is the mule the world so far as I can see." This symbol is repeated throughout the novel in various contexts. However, it remains consistent in its symbolization of victimization and bondage. Nanny uses the mule here to symbolize the struggles that an African American woman face compared to that of the opposite sex, as women are apparently the lowest creatures in society. But she also does this to Janie with the purpose of benefiting her, as she's guiding her to take the path that's more secure for her future, and this once again highlights her nurturing attitude. However, these ideologies of Nanny and her mindset, which is involving associating marriage with stability and security, it stems from her own past of being a slave subjugated to light-skinned people. Therefore, Hurston utilizes this character to reflect the struggles that African American women faced in the 1920s, as they were privy to both white people and men. And she also uses this to demonstrate the hierarchy that is so inflexible that one must just succumb to it, which is what Nanny then tries to instill within Janie. Ultimately, Nanny uses this proverb to bring insight as to how Janie should consolidate her dual identity of being both an American and being a colored individual. This, however, contrasts with Janie's desire, as mentioned before, as she herself wants to be independent and wants to differ from these norms placed upon her, race and gender, and proceed onto a journey where she can define for herself what comes out of her life.